Bitcoin moved back above $17,000 again. It jumped more than 4% in just one day. This was also one of Bitcoin's strongest moves in the last 3 weeks. If you look at the chart, it really feels like all the pressure that had been building up because of war concerns and global tension was suddenly released in one strong bullish candle. According to Reuters, the US and Iran agreed to a 2-week ceasefire, and Pakistan reportedly helped mediate the deal. Now, this is very important. If this ceasefire gets extended, or if the situation does not get worse and starts to move toward actual peace talks, then this could become a real trigger for a bigger bullish trend. In other words, fears in Bitcoin market suddenly cooled down, investor confidence came back very fast, and trading volume also increased. So the big question is this: did Bitcoin really change direction here, or is this just a short-term reaction? For the next 2 weeks, we really need to keep our eyes wide open, because when Bitcoin moves up, it can move up way faster than people expect. Second issue, as Bitcoin jumped more than 4% in a day, around $400 million in Bitcoin positions were liquidated. That is a very big number. This was one of the biggest liquidation events in recent months, and because of the short squeeze, the price likely went even higher than it normally would have. This is why traders need to be very careful right now. When the market is being driven by war headlines and sudden geopolitical news, you can get huge green candle and huge red candles in a very short time. And when that happens back and forth in a few hours, people using big position size or very high leverage like 30x or 50x can get wiped out almost instantly. You know the Bitcoin chart, sometimes it makes that deep U-shaped dip, and sometimes it makes the reserve shape too. It can kill both sides. So honestly, using very high leverage in this market is almost like opening your wallet and saying, here, take my money. Please be careful. Third issue, Morgan Stanley's Bitcoin ETF listing on the New York Stock Exchange may be happening very soon. Based on Korean time, the listing is reportedly expected on the night of April 8th, Wednesday's night. And this matters a lot because this is not just another small financial company. This is Morgan Stanley, one of the biggest names in traditional finance. What this means is simple. Bitcoin is being treated more and more like an official investment product by major Wall Street institutions. The product is expected to be listed as Morgan Stanley Bitcoin Trust with the ticker MSBT. And the fee is also very competitive. It is expected to be 0.14%, which is 0.11% lower than BlackRock's IBIT. That makes it even more attractive. Now, when a big institution launches a Bitcoin ETF, that creates a new path for money to flow into Bitcoin. Some people estimate that if just around 2% of Morgan Stanley's clients assets were to move into this product, the potential inflow could be as high as $106 billion or about 230 trillion won. Wow. Now, of course, that is just an estimate, not a gradient. But even if the real number is much lower, the important point is this: a major new gateway for traditional money to enter Bitcoin is opening. If you look at the stock market in Korea, there are many kinds of ETFs like biotech ETFs or semiconductor ETFs, and when ETFs come in, institutions often buy the underlying asset, which can help support price. It also sends message that the asset is being recognized by major players. So the fact that a giant like Morgan Stanley is launching Bitcoin ETF is a very meaningful signal. And if this continues, then later we could also see more Bitcoin-related ETFs or derivatives from other major financial giants like JP Morgan or Goldman Sachs. This is a very important development. Some media outlets like Forbes are even calling this a major possible catalyst for Bitcoin to move toward $100,000. So in the end, the two biggest things to watch this week and next week are: first, whether the US-Iran ceasefire holds and possibly leads to something bigger, and second, whether Morgan Stanley's Bitcoin ETF becomes a strong new bullish signal for institutional inflows. Both of these are important, so let's keep watching closely. This was SB. Thank you.